Hi, this is Christina from Hoopla,
Hey, I'm Megan from Southern Branding.
and today we are going to talk custom packaging.
Yep.
Um,
All the different ways you can package.
that's right. And so, kind of where our train of thought is with the holidays coming up and with kind of COVID being unpredictable right now, there's numerous ways that you can handle kind of giving out your gifts. But in general, custom packaging kind of elevates what you're giving out, especially if you want to kind of tell a brand story. And so I'm going to start. And I'm going to show my favorite kind of packaging. Um, and it is, so this is a Christmas box I did last year, and it's nice. So you can, thank you. So you can, do, some decoration on the outside, but my favorite type of packaging is a magnetic box. So it's magnetized, it's kind of high end. And then you can do a little message inside, and then you can do custom foam inserts within the box. And this one, I don't know if you can see it, it has like happy holidays in the corner kind of cut out. And then the items kind of nicely placed in there. And so that kind of gives that wow factor. And to top it off with all the packaging we're talking about, I think one thing that's really nice is just doing a variable printing, which in layman's terms, that means creating a card of some sort or a message of some sort, and variable printing would put a personalization as a salutation to start off the card. So it really feels personalized. And those are so inexpensive and an easy way to kind of personalize the gifts and just add them quickly to whatever packaging you are going to give your gifts out in.
Yeah, totally. And there are so many different ways that you can package. And I love the example that you showed, because that was total turnkey. So that was the packaging, the item, everything ready to go. But if you're doing something where you're piecing things together and you're choosing an item, maybe that specific item doesn't have custom packaging available with it. That's then what we're expert at, with sourcing that and getting the game plan together for you and coming up with the custom packaging.
Right.
And so we can even do the custom packaging. We can do we talked about this a little bit, that we need to go over terms, but the kitting and fulfillment of it. So if it's something where we need to, we get the item in and you've chosen this drinkware piece and we need to put it in the box and kit it all together, we can do that. Or you can order packaging, do it yourself. There's so many different types of ways to do it.
So let me speak to that really quick, because I have an example of that I did last holidays for a client. And it's, they got them sent out early. So they put a little note on there saying, don't open till, and then we did kind of like a little Grinch theme. So we ordered the box separate, and then inside the box, we have custom tissue paper to kind of elevate the inside. And then in here, sorry, it's so noisy. I'm going to kind of show, but then I'm going to take it out and show you what's inside. And then we put two champagne flutes with the little branding on it. And then we did unbranded sparkling cider, because there are laws on shipping alcohol. And so we can ship alcohol. It's just you have to be very thorough with how you do it. But putting this box together, everything was ordered from, the box was ordered from one vendor, the champagne glasses from another vendor, the tissue paper from another vendor, and then the sparkling cider from another vendor. So now I think you can kind of speak to what kitting means when we're saying you're ordering everything from numerous suppliers.
Yeah, lots of different places. And then we put it together and make it pretty for you, which is the kind of the turnkey package like that. And I think that, those are beautiful examples. And that also, it doesn't necessarily, I think sometimes people get intimidated by that too, and are like, oh my gosh, we have to figure out art, or maybe that's too expensive, or there are other options where a white box with doing some decorative tape or a nice sticker, that's totally great as well. So there's lots of options depending on what your budget and your need is. And then there's also gift bags. I love gift bags.
Especially if you
There's
get the
lots of
tissue.
examples. Yeah. So like the custom, really nice high gloss laminated bags like that, or Euro bags, rather craft paper bags with tissue
With the
paper.
tissue, yep.
With the tissue, so many great ways to do it. And then also, even if you're just doing boxes, we do custom ribbon on there. Like that's a great, really simple add-on.
And I do want to say also, if you buy the packing tape, the tissue paper, the ribbon, the nice thing about that is you can use it year round if you're just putting your branding on it. So it's nice to kind of have just, in your supply closet. So if you have to throw together a quick gift for someone, you have that extra personalization.
Absolutely. Totally. And I think this year, we've obviously seen a big trend over the past year and a half or so with different packaging options. It used to be, box sourcing custom boxes was pretty specialized. And now we have lots and lots of options for it because it's grown so much, with all of the different mailings that we're doing. And my instinct is that this year, we're going to see kind of a combo of a lot of different things because we don't necessarily know what it's going to be like in a month or two. And, we're encouraging people to order early, obviously. And I think that there's lots of ways where you could just add a simple box and make something fun with, like what we talked about doing, like a drive-through, where you're handing out gifts because you don't get to do a party, so there's lots of ways, creative ways that we can help you with to come up with ways to make the holidays special for and distribute for your clients and for your employees, since holiday actual parties may not be as popular or able to do them, or there's going to look different. It's just going to look different for everybody.
So let's talk about real quick, because I think people don't understand this, and that's very normal because I didn't understand it before I was in the industry. But if you end up, let's say, having to distribute the gifts and you need to ship them to people's home addresses versus doing a drive-through. I personally love the drive-through idea, and even having the executives participate in it and really give out those gifts.
And like dress up as Santa Claus and different things. It could be so much fun. Yeah.
Right. But if you can't do that and you do end up needing to ship them directly to people's homes, how to be prepared for that, to understand that not only is there going to be a shipping fee typically, but typically there's also going to be called something a drop ship fee. If you're, so that's for the company to kind of put and then there's also a kitting fee if you didn't order everything from the same company. So there's many layers to it, but that's what we're here for. That's what we would walk you through with your budget and your constraints.
Totally. And I think the biggest expense of that is obviously the shipping fee, and shipping to residential addresses is always more expensive than shipping to a commercial business address. So even if you're shipping in bulk to a business address, let's say you have different, hubs, different offices, and then you're distributing from there, that can save you money. The drop ship comes in when you place one big bulk order for us, all of your holiday gifts, but you need them shipped to individual addresses. No problem. We got you. We can handle that. But there is a fee to do that. And the fee comes into play because it still costs more money to individually box every single item. It's more money, it's more labor, and it's more materials to do that versus packaging everything in one big box and then shipping it. So when we talk about drop ship fees, and they're all over the board. It could be anywhere from $1 to $10 for a drop ship. Yep. And that is for the cost and the labor of the materials for actually doing that. So just like if you were going to go out and mail that and you had to go out and buy boxes and you had to spend your time boxing everything individually, that costs money for us to do it too.
Yeah, so I love that. And also I wanted to say, we keep preaching about ordering early and starting early, because with the way things are, the industry's, nuts right now. It's not going to get any better. There's supply issues.
Yeah.
And so if you do want to do a custom kit from different suppliers, you definitely want to order early so you can mitigate any
Mhm.
issues with one of the items that you have selected being out of stock,
Yeah.
and the time it would take to put the kits together and possibly have to ship them out.
Yeah, and just to mention, we've talked about UPS and FedEx they're not honoring transit times right now. Even if you're paying for expedited shipping, there are still no guarantees that it will be expedited and arrive on the date that for today. Like there's no guarantees. Crapshoot, everything's out the window, right? Well, so I'm sure people have seen in the news everything with the postal service and the delays with priority shipping, delaying 2 days and such. So all transit times are getting longer right now. So whereas for a residential shipment, meaning we're shipping something to your employee or your client's home on behalf of you, where you originally, we think maybe it's going to take 3 day priority to get that out to you. Now it may take 5, which really then means over weekends and all of that, it could be 7, right? So you
Mhm.
have to factor those things in, and just know that that's what we're working with. I tell you, I was actually surprised. Like, I guess this speaks to how little I've been cooking lately, but I hadn't made like a full grocery store run in a while, and I did that last week, and I was still shocked. Like, holy moly, shelves are still empty.
Mm.
Like there was no bread. Like there was not the kind of milk that we get. Like there are still so many supply chain issues,
Oh, yeah.
and it's happening everywhere. So
Yeah, another packaging that I did want to talk about, we're going to go back to the packaging because we could talk all day about supply chain, shipping, and
I
just
know, I know.
issues.
I feel like it's all I talk about now. Yeah. Yeah.
And we are doing our best, and that's another thing that I really want people to understand is I hate disappointing my clients. I hate having to mitigate all these problems, so I do my best to have kind of a best practice going into an order, but you just have to be fluid and be able to like come up with solutions just in case. But let me go back to packaging. So another cute little
Yep.
idea that I love is these little canisters that
I
have
love those. Yes.
that have you can do the branding on them. They have little edible snacks in them, and you can pick the snacks, and you can put this cute messaging on it, and just have it be really cute. And you can still even order these, and I'm sorry I don't have an example, but you can order these canisters set in a box with like
Yep.
little cutouts so that you get that full presentation versus just a canister. But these are also really great options, not only for holidays, but for any type of program that you might want to run, whether that be a recognition program, an appreciation, an anniversary, a birthday program within your company, to have these automatically sent out for you when it's time to recognize
Absolutely.
someone.
Because they also have really low minimums and
Yeah.
can be personalized.
Yep.
So when we talk about, again, to your point about what we call variable data, it's basically meaning personalization. So we can personalize the items to the recipient, which is always such a nice touch.
Yeah. So do you have, well, and I was going to talk about brand story. So I'll show one more little box, but like, just how cute is this box, and adding that kind of like, little story or tagline that kind of makes it, go that extra mile, and it's kind of quirky and cute. So that's, where you can really get creative with, packaging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, totally. And if you don't have that, we're in a time crunch, and that creative is not your strong suit. Like that's our strong
Yeah.
suit also. And there's lots of stock designs where we can just plug in your logo, plug in whatever the message needs to be, and go from there. So we can make it really easy and streamlined for you.
Just give us the time. That's the key, is the time. Because if you need something within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, which is, I mean, production times are running longer than usual right now, then we're put at a disadvantage on getting
Yeah.
creative.
I'll tell you a story. I had for the first time in since we've been doing this, so the first time in 13 years of business that I was stumped and couldn't help a client or didn't have a great solution for the client. And this was an event driven order, and they got their shipment on a Friday. Their event was the following Saturday. So we sent them tracking for what the order was supposed to be, which was 14 boxes of items, and sent them all the tracking numbers so that they were delivered to them. And then the Friday before the event, they realized that they really only received 10 of the 14 boxes. And like my heart hurt because I couldn't do anything. There was nothing that I could do. And what ended up happening was these boxes, they, were just lost in UPS land somewhere. So had been scanned, showed as shipped, showed as, all of this, but they weren't there.
Yeah.
And come to find out, what's happened is UPS had dropped them, things happened, whatever, but there wasn't a good solution. So that's why like ordering early, really also when you're ordering large, like making sure you're receiving what you're supposed to be receiving and there are no issues, because UPS is overworked right now too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're staffed. So, you may be getting a shipment, things could be damaged inside. And if we wait until the last minute to open things, then we don't have recourse to be able to help you. So it's super important right now for all of us to be on top of things and order in advance when we can, and to offer grace.
Yeah, I love that, offer grace. And, I feel, we have to deal with the suppliers, and sometimes we receive news from the suppliers that we didn't expect. We check stock right before we put the order in, and then the order's in, and then, 5 days later, whatever, 2 days later, whatever it is, they say, oh, we're now out of stock. And we have to be the bearer of bad news, even though we did our due diligence. There's thousands upon thousands of people like us putting orders in at the same exact time. So we cannot predict if someone's going to go in right before us and wipe stock out. We can only do as good as we can. And, it's life right now, and just bear with us, and we'll always try to make it right. And I feel like this is such a Debbie Downer conversation or show, but, it's reality. And so.
Yeah, it is. It's the reality of it right now. And the reality is we all have to do the best we can with it, because it's not going to go away anytime soon either. So that's why, that's one of the reasons why we're doing this, is so that we can make sure that we're doing everything that we can to educate our clients or potential clients, people, who just want to know like what's going on, right? So I think that's really important.
Yeah. So I'm going to wrap up our show. I'm going to say a couple things. We're really going to focus on the holidays. And we will have some shows coming up where Megan is the first week of September going to take us through Southern Branding's kind of holiday show, which is going to be super fun. In October, we have suppliers coming directly on the show to tell us what items they have deep inventory of and what their top kind of suggestions are for the holidays. Because if you haven't ordered by October, the end of October, I'm worried for you. So I just wanted to say that, but we will, if you have anything you want to talk about, send it our way, but maybe on the next show, we can talk about exactly how to start the holiday project, or, one of the upcoming shows, how to start the project, what kind of information we need to really just get moving right away on ideas for people. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. I'm going to ask the question, the end of the show question. What is your high point and low point for your week this week?
Okay. So today is Thursday. Okay. So my low point is I have totally been procrastinating all week long on doing some accounting things for our business business that I have to get done to give to our accountant. Like I hate the back end of it. Like that's the stuff that is painful for me doing that data entry stuff. So that's my low point. My high point is I'm super excited about a couple of projects that we're actually doing for ourselves as a self promo. So I got one piece of it in today. We have more to come. And so I'm super excited to be able to share all of that when it gets done. It's the first time that we've done something that really is an example of like what we preach with telling your brand story and like really getting to know who we are. So I'm excited about that to be able to share it.
So make sure you're following Megan on Instagram or LinkedIn. So when she unveils all these goodies, you'll be able to see them.
Actually, I have another high point. I'm going to do 2 high points.
Okay.
So my other high point is we started something on our social media, and it was just a random. I noticed that there was a couple of people who are always interacting with us on social media, which is so cool because Christina, like you've been doing this for a while with your Instagram, and it's amazing. And we're more like getting started with it in the digital world with social media and everything. So we're a couple people, one specific account that's always interacting with us, River Rock Realty. And so we decided let's do something for them. So we did a bunch of spec hats, did some different patches and some different things, and just sent it to them as a surprise, and are starting a like surprise box. So for the people who are doing, so for the people who are doing like, give us a referral or are always commenting, engaging, interacting with us, there could be something that lands on your doorstep with your logo on it as a thank you.
I might have to steal that from you.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Well, I love that. And, I have to say, I love, doing the show with Megan because she's like an industry vet and she's so creative and so smart and just really runs her business with integrity. And so I think we really have similar values. Don't cry. We have similar values. And so I love learning from her because I love the way she kind of just carries herself and kind of her ideas. She's super creative and I love seeing that side of her. So
that means so much to me, and especially coming from you. So thank you, because I look up to you with what you're doing with your business. So you're doing incredible. Yeah.
Tell me more. No. Okay. So I will tell you my high point and low point for this week. My high point is I got a new car. I know we talked about me buying a Tesla, but I really want an electric car, but I don't feel like it's where it needs to be for me to invest the money in getting a full electric right now, but I am too impatient to wait. So I got a plug-in hybrid. And so it goes about 20 miles on electric and then switches to hybrid mode. So it kind of itches both itches for me. And it's a really beautiful car. So I'm super excited about that. That was my high point. And then my low point is just, disappointing clients. I had someone kind of come to me and say, oh, we're out of stock twice, 2 different orders, and having to mitigate that and give that news and know like I'm disappointing them and I'm just the messenger, but I'm trying to make it right for them. That always really gets me because I am a gold star type of girl and I want to do a good job and I want, I want to make everyone happy. So that would probably be my low point, but I got to just do my best and, come up with solutions and keep it moving.
So can I share this real quick? And I know we said this before. So we always say we're going to make it quick and then it ends up going. So sorry, but can I share this real quick?
Sure.
Because it just reminds me of that because I'm very similar with like, it killed me having to disappoint this client and tell them like, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do to get you product.
Yeah.
At Friday at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Of course.
For Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So I get that. Like it hurts my heart. Like I hate that. So I was actually listening to, because drive time in the car. So the podcast that I'm listening to right now is Brene Brown. And it's about her book, The Gifts of Imperfection. And one thing that really like struck me that is so resonated is she says that the other side of shame is perfection. So if you're a perfectionist and you don't have shame issues, like think again, they're the same thing. And that just so resonated with me because I'm like, oh, I'm a perfectionist on so many things, but it's driven because I don't want to let people down, and the being enough or how you're thought of or looked at, all of those types of things, which is shame driven. So I want to share that because it just so resonated with me.
Can I just say, Brene Brown is a genius, and she's from Texas, and I'm originally from Texas.
Yep.
My husband's originally from Texas, so I love her even more. And I could just listen to her all day long. So I love her. I have that book on Audible. I highly suggest, if you like Audible or listening to books, Brene's books, when she narrates them herself, are like so good. So I just highly recommend her Audible audiobooks. Like, they're just great.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
Awesome.
Well, we'll see you next week. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more of a chipper. We were kind of a little, emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we will see you next time.
Okay. Sounds good.
Bye.